good morning. We've got our gear here. A vintage number 21, Gillette Aristocrat from the UK, a Shavemac 3-band silver tip, Paladin soaps, Crossroads, and my Nacet that is so close to hitting 300. All right, let's get everything out of my hands. The brush has been soaking. Now this guy is so floppy. See, look how he has so little backbone that you can just bend him and he stays. Now, I bought this and it was told to me that it was a shedder, and it sure is. And so I got a great deal on it. And I went ahead and bought it because I thought that's going to give me a good idea of what a Shavemac 3-band is going to feel like. And I've shaved with it a couple times, and I've got to figure out if I like that much flop. I mean, that's probably the floppiest brush I have. So let's find, yep, here we go. There's my little tab with the count. So 296 is what we did on it before. So this is shave 297. While we have dry hands, I like to hold the paper and put it away and stuff. So this is the 21, I believe. There's some trademarks to look for. The center ridge is not visible when the doors are closed. It's got a hollow handle. It has the keys at the end of the center bar. It has a flat base plate instead of that diamond pattern. This is a much more substantial base plate. And there we go. Aristocrat shaves great. We'll see how it shaves with the old Nacet in it. And here are the 3 dots, and you can even see the warped blade right here from use number 225 where I dropped it. All right, ready to go. All right, now I'm gonna get my face wet. I'm gonna try to pause you for any operation that involves water, because in this bathroom, the air is coming up through the thing in such a big way that it is really noisy. I'm sure you've noticed that the last couple shaves. All right, so after soaking, I'm gonna give this thing a good shake. Get rid of most of the water. Now, Crossroads is a soap from Paladin. And a couple of years ago, they stopped making soap and had to sell everything. And so there was a great deal to be had on these soaps. Tobacco leaf, sandalwood, and menthol. And the menthol is the key today because it is menthol day for the Lather Games. And it kind of works out that I'm at this location because the air conditioner has been broken for a week or two and it's just stifling, nasty hot. Right now it's early in the morning, and that's actually why I'm shaving in the morning. Usually I shave at night, but the place, this area, my room has a window unit AC, and so it's okay. I'm able to be comfy in there, but in here at night it's just nasty hot. And so even right now, it's hot enough to where I will start to sweat a little bit if I just kind of keep staying in here. So it is warm, and so let's see if we can get this menthol to help me out. So let's just try about a 30-second load. I bought any of this scents on the sale from Paladin. I bought any of the ones that seemed like they might be something I might enjoy. I think it's like $12 or something. And I tell you what, and that's 30. One of the main reasons I decided to chance it was these heavy glass jars. Yes, I mean, they're almost worth $12 for the glass jar alone. Okay, let me rinse the suds off the side of the jar. All right, now this is kind of a short handle. And again, we've even got a bristle coming out already. So I don't know if the previous user soaked it in a little bit, soaked it in hot water, and that loosened the glue knot. I don't know if they left, you can leave soap in the center of the knot and eventually lead through animal hair because of its chemical properties. So I don't know exactly why it's shedding, but you know, there's still plenty of bristles left to give me a good idea about whether I want to ever buy a 3-band. And this thing is so floppy, I don't think that I ever want to. I mean, my other silver tips like Whipped Dog, Kent, Golden Nib are all more enjoyable than this guy, I believe. And they have more, just a touch more backbone. I recall since it hasn't been a while, it has been a long time since I've used this soap. I do recall it being a good performer. Sometimes I'll put in too much water than maybe the soap looks like it needs, because I know that the right quantity of lather is going to have at least that much water in it. And so then if I mix it up and it's a little too wishy, then I just go back to the soap and load for 5 more seconds, you know, something like that. Bring more. Yeah, I can smell that menthol coming up. Now, often menthol will give me kind of more of a burning sensation on my face instead of a cooling one, you know. But that's just me. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. You can see tons of hairs. Maybe we can count them. I think that's 4 so far that I've pulled out of either the lather or the brush. So I love sandalwood. Let's just go ahead and use this. And let's put a little bit more in there. And so I can't remember if I noticed that it had menthol when I bought it, but I was disappointed to get it, use it, and realize maybe I was just hoping the menthol wasn't very strong. Oh yeah, that looks much nicer. I believe I might have it watered correctly now, at least for something reasonable. So I'm gonna just make sure I get a good homogeneous mix. Hey, another hair. I think it's number 5. Okay, get my face wet. I said I'd mute you, but sometimes that's just really inconvenient with wet hands and soapiness and stuff. Sorry about that. All right, soft, floppy brush. menthol soap. I mean, it is very comfortable, you know, and soft because it's all, you know, wadded up. So, I mean, there's that. The looks of it as it flops around in your fingers is not all that appealing, but, you know, when you get it to your face and it, you know, feels pretty good, that kind of makes that go away, doesn't it? Sometimes the first pass needs a little bit more lather because of the oils on my face. I can feel the menthol coming up in my eyes. A little bit of sting in there. It feels great during the painting especially. It doesn't quite feel like a wadded up ball of hair. All right, in a little bit of a hurry, so I'm not going to spend as much time on my face as I usually do with the lathering process. So let's see how this razor does with the old Nacet. Very light tugging right now, but it's comfortable. It's nice to be able to shave with a mirror. Yesterday I did the challenge of not using one. Pause you for the rinsing. I'm gonna try to get a different room for rent because this is just the start of summer, and so I'm not looking forward to months of this. Well, there we go. I'm going to rinse. All right, time for the second pass. Now, sometimes when I have an old blade like this, I haven't taken down as much stubble on that first pass as I might normally. And so I will repeat the same with the grain pattern. Well, you can do that if you want, or like I'm going to do today, just do your normal pattern. A lot of times, when you shave with a really sharp blade, the second and third pass are almost, especially the third one, are sometimes overkill because you've just taken down so much growth in the earliest passes. But with my case now, I believe the excess that's left over from the first pass that normally would be gone, the stubble length, I think it'll be compensated for in the second and third. So the second and third will have to work a little harder than usual, is the only thing. So sometimes, even if you feel like you've got a lot, just do your normal routine, and I'll bet your future passes will take care of it anyway. Unless you've just got a brush and a soap that you just really enjoy spending time with. In that case, do as many passes as you want. I do have my shave shirt on today. I've intentionally been, these are not shirts that I wear during the day. I just wear it for shaving, because it's a non-white color, so it helps with the color balance of the video. And there we go. We can put a little bit of extra lather right there to kind of do a little touch up. And now my face feels pretty smooth, so that second pass definitely did more of a job than it usually does, and it'll be just fine. My skin is tingling because of the menthol. I have a shocker for my face. For the aftershave, I have the BaM Arctique, and it is a high strength menthol. I've tried it once, it was not fun. All right, let's shave this off. But I decided to keep it long enough to do menthol day on the Lather Games. Now for the third pass, I'm going to switch directions right here. Looks like I got the water consistency really nicely dialed in with this one. It's kind of on the wet side of perfect. You could back off on the water just a little bit if you kind of wanted more of a creamy texture. But see, I've got nice residual slickness. And this is definitely a drippy lather. So you can feel around for maybe some spots that need to be hit again. You can feel for the hairs as well as the level of slickness to make sure that you have enough slickness there to be able to do the trim. Well, if I'm going to ever like menthol in a soap or an aftershave, then this is the time period when I'm living in this horrible little place. So we're getting menthol its best conditions ever. That is coming up immediately to my eyes. I may start crying for the rest of the video. Peppermint, kind of scent going on here. I do like that, okay. I usually steer away from it just because they're better scents, but I like peppermint. Whew. Yeah, my eyes are gonna go. Oh man, hopefully they don't swell shut or something. So if I can even read. So this does have alcohol, of course. It does have a little bit of witch hazel and some flower extract, calendula, chamomile, a little bit. So it's got a little bit of skin food. Whew, my face is on fire, folks. All right, well, I'm gonna clean up while I try to keep my eyes open. As I recall, the last time I used this aftershave, I used it once, and it took about 20 minutes for my face to calm down. It feels like it's bringing up a little bit of redness and irritation down on my neck. Obviously not one that I plan on using in the future. 2.5 teaspoons of water for this lather, and 30 seconds of loading is the ratio for today. And I ended up with maybe one pass left of soap, so pretty good hit the mark. So this Shavemac sheds quite a bit. Here's another hair. With your own brush, my opinion is that if you're 50 uses in or less with your current brush and it's still shedding a little bit, I would not worry about that at all. In the factory, especially if you get a less expensive brush, they haven't been combed through to get the bristles, the hairs that haven't made it into the glue knot. And so you can be the one who extracts those yourself, and you pay less. There are more expensive knots that are combed through meticulously to get those hairs out. Well, you're going to pay more for those. If the shedding lasts longer than 2 months of uses, then daily uses, then yeah, that's when I might start to be concerned and contact the brush maker if it's a new brush for a refund or a replacement. So dried him on the towel a little bit. You can tell his tips are not bleached to soften them up. They're not super soft, but because of the low backbone of the knot, it feels fairly soft. But there are definitely other silver tips and even some 2-bands that feel softer on your face than this guy. But he's interesting. I'm very glad to be able to try him out. Well, I think that's it for today. Let's check the closeness. Yeah, the usual. This is a mid-range aggression razor, and so it doesn't quite have the power to really get me nice and close right there. But pretty good shave. I'm happy with it at this point. So always fun to use such a wonderful vintage piece of shaving equipment with that razor. And there we go. Yeah, and unfortunately, see, what I hated was the tobacco and the sandalwood of the soap. They got totally overwhelmed by the menthol. So while I'm using the soap, all I smell is the menthol. That was a big disappointment for me the first time I used that soap. But so there we go. Fortunately, there were other ones, Nacet's Trace and Pythian Way, that smell really good from Paladin that I was able to pick up. All right, guys, time for me to go. Thank you so much for watching. I hope there's been something good in here for you while I go and cry. Take care, guys. Bye.